Tomorrow is Africa Day as we meet once again on another episode of Crime Watch, a program proudly brought to you by your police service, the Zimbabwe Republic Police, as an interacting forum with you, members of the public, in fighting crime in our beloved country, Zimbabwe. My name is Elliot Kudzai Ganyani, and like all times, it is an honor and indeed an extraordinary privilege to have you on board. We start off this week's episode by looking at stories to do with the COVID-19 pandemic. The Zimbabwe Republic Police is concerned with violations of lockdown regulations by some people disregarding government directives such as maintaining social distancing, staying at our homes without making unnecessary movements, as well as religiously wearing masks whenever it is necessary for us to go outside of our homes. Notable places include densely populated areas such as Mbare Musika in Harare, Makokova in Bulawayo, Sakubva in Mutare, and Mucheke in Masvingo, among other such places across the country. The Zimbabwe Republic Police is issuing a stern warning to those disregarding lockdown measures as laid down in the statutory instruments by the government that they will certainly be arrested and face all due processes of the law. Anyone found in the central business districts of cities and towns across the country should be in possession of official employment confirmation documents written by the company or institution's chief executive officer or managing director. It is said that some people choose to disregard clearly stated regulations, and by the 19th of May 2020, a total of 33,417 people had been arrested by the police for various offences, most of which are in direct contravention of Statutory Instrument 83 of 2020 that include unnecessary movement during lockdown, gathering of more than 2 people in a public place, and failure to wear masks when outdoors, among others. Be warned not to be found on the wrong side of the law, as the police will effect arrests accordingly whenever it is necessary. Now moving on, the Commissioner General of Police, who is also the current chairperson of the Southern African Regional Police Chiefs Cooperation Organization, SAPCO, Tandabantu Godwin Matanga, gave his speech at a historic virtual meeting held at the Criminal Investigations Department headquarters in Harare, which was the first of its kind due to the ravaging effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. The virtual conference, which was focused on criminal investigations departments of all SAPCO member countries, sought not only to strengthen relations in policing, but also to deliberate on combating transnational organized crime and any other illegal activities of concern in the region. Let us hear him speak.
On a daily basis, police officers put themselves in harm's way, fighting for a crime-free and just society. With the outbreak of COVID, police officers have been further called upon to enforce compliance of various measures aimed at preserving the safety and health of nations. It is worrisome that while general crime has declined during the post-COVID-19 outbreak, cases of gender-based violence have risen sharply. As many people adhere to COVID-19 regulatory measures by staying safe and indoors, several cases of domestic violence have been recorded, including fatalities. Reports of terrorist-related incidents in Mozambique, Cabo Delgado province, Muidumbe district, in which more than 50 people were killed, remain a cause for concern in the region. As a regional law enforcement body, we have increased vigilance as well as continue to share information related to foreign terrorist organizations. It is pleasing to note that Interpol, through the anti-terrorist node for East and Southern Africa, is working closely with Mozambique. However, possibilities of criminals taking advantage of the prevailing situation exist. We should therefore continue to keep our ears to the ground and strengthening our capacity for sharing information.
Meanwhile, the Zimbabwe Republic Police continues to partner other stakeholders to fumigate places considered as hotspots or those highly likely to harbor this highly infectious virus. Just recently, the Zimbabwe Republic Police Support Unit Fairbridge District partnered Umguza Rural District Council and Pretoria Portland Cement PPC Bulawayo in one such fumigation exercise. The Acting Superintendent Administration ZRP Support Unit Fairbridge District Chief Inspector Lloyd Wurayai said the fumigation exercise was conducted using the public order vehicles POVs in Fairbridge Police Camp, Cement Site Residential Places, as well as PPC Bulawayo Factory area. This is part of an ongoing partnership between the ZRP, Umguza Rural District Council and Bulawayo City Council, among other stakeholders, to offer community assistance in wiping out any possible remnants of the coronavirus from all places considered as hotspots or likely to harbor the virus. With the police being a key essential service, with police officers being part of the frontline workers in fighting the spread of COVID-19, Chief Inspector Lloyd Wurayai also cited that the fumigation of police establishments such as Fairbridge Police Camp would lessen chances of police officers being exposed to the virus at their workplaces as well as their homes. We also spoke to Mr. Tembandlela of PPC Bulawayo Factory, as well as Mr. Vusas Kosana, the Chief Executive Officer, Umguza Rural District Council.
This is part of the COVID-19 measures to ensure that the virus does not spread. So with the assistance of ZRP, Umguza Rural District Council, that have come through to assist us in this exercise. I think it will go a long way in ensuring that we keep our employees healthy and we limit the spread of the coronavirus.
As Umguza Rural District Council, we have partnered with stakeholders, to mention the police, as part of the stakeholders in the district, to fumigate what we can call potential hotspots for the spread of COVID-19. The reason why we engage the police, it's mainly because of the type of equipment that they have. We made use of the water cannons that the police have to fumigate the areas that I've already mentioned.
On that note, we take a short break. Join us in the second segment. We are in the second segment of Crime Watch, and to those who are just joining us, it is a warm welcome. The Zimbabwe Republic Police will not tolerate any illicit dealings in dangerous drugs and substances and will effect arrest whenever it is necessary. We recently visited the Criminal Investigations Department, Drugs and Narcotics in Harare, where some people were arrested for such illicit deals. Dealing in illicit dangerous drugs is a chargeable offense under the laws of the country. I'm here at the Criminal Investigations Department, Drugs and Narcotics, where they encountered 3 such cases. On the first one, I have Detective Sergeant Neti Mutsengi to tell us more on what transpired.
What happens is we received a tip-off to the effect that the accused person was exporting cocaine using a local courier company. We pursued that information and we arrested the accused person and seized the contraband.
Can you tell us more in terms of how you eventually found the cocaine inside this material?
The accused person was wrapping the cocaine powder inside these plastics that you are seeing, covering it with this blue paper and stash it in the curtain hem, wrap the curtain and transport as if she's just transporting a normal curtain. Furthermore, the accused person was also using handbag decorations, compartments, as means of consumption of cocaine. We also recovered some cocaine in these compartments as you are seeing them. Okay. The accused person also used this wrapping cloth that you are seeing as means of consumption in transporting the cocaine. She soaked this wrapping cloth in the dissolved cocaine, dry it, iron it, wrap it back and transport it as normal as a wrapping cloth.
Now, on a side interview with the officer commanding drugs and narcotics, we discovered that what they would eventually do is that upon arrival at the intended destination, they would then extract the cocaine from this cloth and then put it on the market for sale. Now, the viewers may want to know how much cocaine did you eventually recover and how much is it in terms of value?
From the whole contraband, we extracted a total of 744 grams of cocaine, which has a street value of 290 $100,000 US. As said, drugs and narcotics, we would like to warn those criminals who are dealing in illicit drugs that we are firm on the ground and we will continue to pursue them and bring them to book. We would also want to appeal to members of the public to continue giving us information so that we make more arrests and combat such crimes.
As we move on, Western Commonwealth Police in Bulawayo has accounted for 2 people who stole a vehicle and exchanged it with a Scotch cat and 3 donkeys with one Gazirai Ngube of Village 1, Chesa Forest in Nyamandofu, Matabeleland North Province. Let us hear more in the following story.
We received information from an informer that he had information matching the description of the motor vehicle that was stolen. We found the vehicle parked. Upon making inquiries, we were told that the vehicle was brought by one Gazirai Ngube, who had brought it from Bulawayo. A team was set to go and arrest those accused persons. They managed to apprehend the 2 accused persons who had sold the vehicle. And upon inquiry, Gazirai indicated to the police officers who had arrested the accused person that he had swapped the said car with a Scotch cat plus 3 donkeys, and there was a top-up of 6,000 rands which was supposed to be paid by Gazirai. Upon interviewing the accused person, they admitted of having swapped the vehicle with the Scotch cat plus 3 donkeys. But upon checking with those donkeys, they were already sold again, and the Scotch cat was also sold. Further inquiries were done, and we managed to recover the Scotch cat and the 3 donkeys, and the vehicle also.
Ngathi ngipaka imota ephumula seBhabhu. Ngathi ngifica ngathola isitshontshiwe. Yabo umsebenzi owenza amapholisa yathola la khatshana emakhaya eChesa Forest. Basebekhiphile lama number plate. Bathi sebebanjiwe abafana bakhona yonke into ya recover, ijeki, i-wheel span, le battery abasebelithengisile. Into engatshela yona ukuthi nxa ungatshontshela into enjengemoto kumele ureport kusale isikhathi. Kwenzela amapholisa encedise ukuze itholakale.
As police, we remind members of the public not to purchase property from unlicensed sellers without making necessary verifications. Now, the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe is working hand in glove with the ZRP in preaching adherence to precautionary measures in view of the COVID-19 pandemic. Let us hear Mr. Tatenda Shinoda speak.
We would like to remind our drivers on what it is that they are supposed to do upon approaching a roadblock as given in the highway code. It would appear many of our drivers neglect the guidelines required of them when they approach a roadblock like this one. We are all aware that we are under indefinite lockdown, and the guidelines must be enforced as given in the relevant statutes. So you realize that at that particular roadblock, which is a lockdown enforcement block, some are impatient, some drivers. Kanamano noka. Matono noka car. It's better to be late than to be delayed. The danger is to have a road traffic crash occurring at a roadblock, or risking some of our officers to be involved in a road traffic crash because of a negligent driver. You are aware the roadblock is announced and you expect to be stopped. When you expect to be stopped by a police officer manning the roadblock or any other official, it means you are supposed to have slowed down your vehicle. So some speeds upon approaching such roadblocks are very frightening. We are in this together. The containment and prevention of coronavirus, COVID-19, is a collective responsibility, and these roadblocks are necessary. They are supposed to be there because my guidelines are clear on what to do. If it is public transportation system, it means that the vehicle might be stopped to be checked by a police officer or any officer who has been mandated to do so. So if you are stopped and passengers are asked to disembark, you are supposed to comply. That kind of compliance is in keeping with enforcement of the guidelines and measures in order for us to contain and prevent coronavirus. There are those drivers again who try to create a third lane, an illegal lane. There has to be single file driving by the driver as you are directed by the police officers manning that particular roadblock. Point faster, faster. You cannot cut corners at a roadblock. No, single file driving as each and every one of the motorists and the vehicles are attended to, as the passengers are asked and inspected. This is our score. We need to do so. We shall not want, even when passengers have disembarked from the buses for inspection purposes, you must be very much alerted to vehicular traffic. So we don't want that to happen. This is our story, and I want all of our Zimbabweans to carry this story forward to everyone.
Crime Watch takes another break. Join us in the third and final segment. Welcome to the third and final segment of Crime Watch, and thank you for staying tuned. In our previous episode, we carried a story where a business family in Makomba Shopping Center, Glenview, Harare, was fleeced of more than 4,000 Zimbabwean dollars by a fraudster using fake EcoCash messages. In related cases, Criminal Investigations Department Commercial Crimes Division are concerned with an increase in trend of such cases. We recently visited their offices to unpack this disturbing trend and more.
Kusangana nemhosva dzinoti cybercrime dzinoti card cloning, fake EcoCash messages nema-OTP. Card cloning vanogadzira rimwe kadhi rakafanana nekadhi ravainaro pavari ronoshandiswa kutenga kana kubhadhara kwavanenge vasiri. Saka isusu chenjedzo kwamuri tinoti kadhi rako paunenge uchiita matransactions ese woona kuti riri kufamba sei, uye kana uchigona kuvharidzira kuti pini isaonekwe nani zvake. Tozoita mafake EcoCash messages. Kana message ichinzi yasendwa yemari, unofanira kunge une foni yacho yauinayo kuchapinda message kunzi yasendwa mari pauri. Then tozoita inonzi one time password. Vanokusendera message kuti tiri vebank, vachinyebedzera sevanhu vebank pokuti pane nhamba dzatatumira ipapo, iwo uzoresponda uchivapa nhamba idzodzo. Musapindure vanhu muchivapa nhamba over the phone. Kana une zvausiri kunzwisisa pamusoro pebank rako, enda kubank unonzwisisa ikoko.
In a similar case, police are concerned with the number of people who are falling prey to fraudsters who use social media platforms to lure unsuspecting victims into depositing huge sums of money into their merchant accounts on the pretext that the money will multiply over a short period of time. A fraudulent scam which goes by the enticing name pyramid scheme has seen a lot of people losing huge sums of money.
We received numerous cases of fraud where the suspects would place an advert on the Facebook promising the complainants about 100% interest on their monies which they would have deposited into a given merchant line number. In some cases, they would give interest to some of their clients so as to entice them to deposit more monies. So far, we have received 519 cases where money totaling to 1.5 million was stolen. We are urging members of the public who could have been duped in similar circumstances to come up and report to their nearest police stations. We are also urging members of the public who could have information that may lead to the arrest of some of the outstanding accused persons. So far, we managed to arrest 2 suspects in connection with the case, and they have since appeared in court.
As police, we discourage members of the public from entrusting their monies with strangers, especially those who post information on social media platforms. Now, police in Norton in Mashonaland West Province have nabbed a gang of criminals who specialized in robbery, unlawful entry and theft cases in and around Norton.
Detectives who were on surveillance spotted the suspects who were refueling their getaway vehicle at an illegal refueling point. Upon their arrest, the two led to the arrest of the remainder of the suspects who were arrested at various residences in Karoi and Chinoi. And they led to the recovery of 2 pistols, various properties. In one of the cases, the suspects proceeded to a house in Damofos, Norton, where upon arrival they threatened the complainant and his family and manhandled them. They went on to ransack the house and took various property, which included cell phones, laptops and cash, about US $21,000. We would like to urge members of the public not to resist the orders given by these criminals. As much as we are not trying to give them mileage, we are saying life is more important. Comply with their instructions and try as much as you can to give us more information about them. It is our job to actually follow and arrest the culprits. We are saying, please do bank your money and always ensure that you do thorough background checks and vetting on your employees.
Before we come to the end of this week's episode, we'd like to highlight some people who are on the police wanted list. Harare Central Police are looking for Peter Munyandu, age 25, of house number 157, Ushokunze, Harare, for a case of assault. Still in Harare, ZRP Glenora are looking for Alan Deu, age 36, of house number 7542, 8th Road, Glenview, Harare, for malicious damage to property. Moving to Bulawayo, Solomon Henry, age 26, is wanted by Western Community Police for a case of robbery. Anyone with information that may help in the location of any of these people should contact any nearest police station or contact us on the following details. Our national complaints desk number is 0242 703 631. Visit us on our website www.zrp.gov.zw. You can also email us on feedback@zrp.gov.zw. Link with us on our Twitter handle @PoliceZimbabwe, or like us on our Facebook page, Zimbabwe Republic Police. To those who may have missed any of our previous episodes, do not despair, as you can watch all Crime Watch episodes on our YouTube channel, Zimbabwe Republic Police. Let us stick to government directives so that together we can combat COVID-19. It is also important to keep reminding each other of the government recommendations that are also coming through from the Ministry of Health and Child Care, such as maintaining social distancing at all times, religiously washing of hands with soap and sanitizers, and always wearing masks whenever it is necessary for us to go outside of our homes. Yes, do enjoy Africa Day tomorrow, the day that unites us as one people who inherited this beautiful continent called Africa. This week, we leave you watching a song by 4 police officers from the city of Kings and Queens down there in Bulawayo, a single track dedicated to the fight against COVID-19. Enjoy it and see you next time.
Mama,